my question for both of you actually is, have you found it easier to put yourself out there musically with the internet and the way like streaming and all, and how you can just touch people instantly rather than like the older way, and most female MCs would get buried and they'd be buried by hundreds of their male counterparts. But now you have more of a shine, you have more light on you. So has it been easier?
Megs, you want to answer that?
Yeah, yeah. To be honest with you, yeah, it is actually, because if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't know how to get. I would have to, everything would have been old school. You would have to get out of the house. Right. You would have to go to the offices and talk with the executives and go to events. You had to actually go to these things and introduce yourself. But now that we got social media and the internet era and streaming, and it's dope that you can actually put your own music on corporate streaming platforms, whether you get paid or not. It does, it does, impact. It does get it out there to the world, so that way the world can hear. That's the dope thing about it, as far as like controlling your own stuff and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of liking it. I don't have to have nobody under control or anything like that to put my music out, or samples or not. So that way they don't give you any problems or whatever the case may be. But I'm kind of liking the era, before and after the pandemic and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's much easier because it gives you the opportunity to, how they say all you need to do is reach one person, and one person will tell two people, and two people tell four. So it gives you the opportunity to, if I wanted to send it directly, if I wanted to send a record directly to you, Brad, I could send it directly to you, and then you can tell, and then it goes on like that. Whereas before, it's hard to give somebody a CD because they would leave it in the club, or then pick it out the window, or
that was a different era where, like, if you gave your tape away back then, it was a lot less impressive than somebody else giving your tape away.
Yeah.
Like the co-sign era was different for us because, like you said, it was face. And I hear this a lot from artists about Spotify and the numbers and the streaming, what they're paying you and how it's crap. It is, but those platforms allow us to have our music in places that probably would have never set foot in. I know a lot of artists have multiple countries that they're listened in, but they never stepped foot in that country, and Spotify had allowed their music to be played there and found. So there's definitely benefits to it.
Yeah, back in the day, you had to rely on platforms like this, or a cable network TV or something like that. Like, you had to rely on that. I remember getting a check from Bolivia, and yeah, I never went to Bolivia, but how? And then when I looked at my my statement, it was like cable TV or cable internet or something, it said something to that effect, and that's how that got there. But now it's like, if I want to go into Bolivia on the internet, or groups catered to Bolivia, then you know what I'm saying, then I could cater directly to that demographic. So absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's much easier, especially for a female artist, musician. It's so much easier.